Hello students, welcome to the next video of English literature of the supplementary book Snapshots prescribed for class 11th for the students of CBSE board. I here Rajesh Kumar Singh from Divine Public School Monapur Gorakhpur. Let's start the first lesson, the summer of the beautiful white horse. Before starting the chapter, let us have a view of the lesson. The summer of the beautiful white horse is a beautiful story of the poor yet self-respective human who take pride in their value-based life. The summer of the beautiful white horse is a beautiful story of the poor yet self-respective humans who take pride in their value-based life, written by William Saroyan. This story is related to two Armenian boys who belong to a tribe who are recognized for their trust and honesty. The hero, that is the chief character of this story, Murad, produces difference between stealing and taking a thing for a certain time. The boy Aram, the narrator of the story, says taking the horse for fulfill the desire of horse riding cannot be stealing until they offer the horse for selling. Keeping the horse for entertainment for a time being cannot be equal to stealing money or other valuable things. Thus, the boys maintain the dignity of their tribe's honesty by returning the horse duly to its true owner as a strong, understanding and better horse than before. Students, before the lesson, let's see summary of the lesson. One day, Murad, the cousin of the narrator, came to his cousin Aram very early in the morning at 4 o'clock to his house. He was sitting on a beautiful horseback, standing near the window. He told Aram to come fast if he wanted to ride, as they had no more time. Aram could not believe at this good luck and thought that it might be a dream. He rubbed his eyes and saw that there was enough light to show everything clear, found that it was not a dream, it was real. As the boys belonged to a poverty-stricken tribe, he couldn't believe that the horse might be there. But if his brother couldn't buy it, then it must be stolen. And he couldn't believe that a member of Garoglanian tribe can be thief. But he had little time for such contemplation. Murad had come to invite him for a ride together. He asked him to get ready very fast, as they had to come back before the wake of the world. Aram put his clothes in no time and jumped out of the window and leapt up to the horseback behind Murad. They rode on the old countryside where they lived earlier in olden days, the Walnut Avenue. After some time, Murad asked him to get down from the horseback, as he wanted to ride alone. Aram urged that he would also ride the horse alone. Murad tried to pursue him that he had understanding with horses. He could make them to do what he likes. Aram said that I can also ride the horse. Murad said him that I told you for the sake of your own safety. During the conversation, Aram came to know that he had stolen the horse a month ago and was riding it every morning. When Aram had the chance of ride, the horse strayed from the path, took him to the vineyard, threw him off and ran away. Okay? The horse threw him off from his back and ran away. Both searched for the horse. Murad advised him to treat the horse politely if he comes across if he comes across the horse. After the search for 30 minutes, Murad was successful in finding the horse. They hid the horse in deserted vineyard, which had some oats and alfalfa, a kind of grass eaten by the horses. Interesting way. Interestingly, Murad interacted with every being in nature. He with horses, interacted with horses, and had developed an understanding with them. He knew how to handle horses, and not only the horses but also with animals and humans in countryside through proper interaction with them. Every morning for 2 weeks they would take the horse for a ride and then heed it again. One day a farmer named John Barrow came to Aram's house to meet his uncle Khusro, who was a irritated and loud man who shouted at almost everything. Barrow told him that his horse had been stolen since last month. He had bought it for $60, a good sum for a farmer like him. 1 month has gone and he couldn't find it. He had to walk for 10 miles to reach their houses. Khusro shouted at him and said, "It's no harm, pay no attention to it." Barrow became irritated by his attitude and he went away. Aram went to Murad's house and informed him about the meeting of John Barrow and the story of stolen horses. Story of stolen horse. Aram advised him not to return the horse until he learns to ride it. Murad commented that it would take a year to learn, the stupid like you. Okay? He further told him angrily that keeping the horse for a year would be stealing, and they, being the member of Garoglenian tribe, cannot be a thief, as the tribe is known for its truth and honesty. He said that they would return the horse after 6 months. One day, on their back to hide the horse to hidden place, they met John Barrow, who was going back to the town. He talked to them and examined the horse carefully. As the horse looked exactly like his horse, but the farmer knew their parents and the honesty of their family. Here there stands for the boys, Aram and Murad. He admitted that the horse may be the twin because he knew the family of the boys, who were famous for their honesty and truthfulness. Murad talked with Barrow and that and confided took him in such belief that the horse assumes as his horse but not his horse. He took him in confidence and made him to believe that the horse may be a twin. The horse assumes his horse, but not his horse, and they went away. The next morning, very early in the morning, they took the horse back to the Barrow's vineyard and put it in the barn. The dogs followed them. They followed them, but they didn't bark. They followed them quietly and they left the place. The, some, the same afternoon, John Barrow came back to his house, that is, came back to Aram's house to tell his mother about his horse who had come back. He was happy and surprised to see the horse of better temperament and stronger than earlier. Uncle Khusro again roared, "Quiet, man, quiet. Your horse has been returned. Pay no attention to it." Students, let's have paragraph-wise explanation of this chapter. The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse. Paragraph first. One day back, there in the good old days when I was 9 and the world was full of every imaginable kind of magnificence and life was still a delightful and mysterious dream. My cousin Murad, who was considered crazy by everybody who knew him except me, came to my house at 4 in the morning and woke me up tapping on the window of my room. Students, see some words before the explanation of this paragraph. Magnificence means splendid, full of wonders for a child. Delightful, that is happy. Mysterious, that is full of secrets. This is the event of good old days of the narrator's life when he was 9 years old and the life was filled with all good things for a tribal boy who often desires. He likes to live in nature. His thoughts are filled with imaginations. The boy, Aram, likes to live in life of nature and his thoughts were filled with imaginations. For innocent mind, for his innocent mind, life was peaceful, still, without struggle and strife. Everything was okay. It was like a mysterious dream which was filled with happiness. One day, his cousin Murad, who was considered as a cynical person by everybody who knew him, except Aram, came to the narrator's house at 4 o'clock in the morning. He woke up. He woke him up by knocking on the window of his house. Students, let's proceed on the second paragraph. Aram, he said, I jumped out of bed and looked out of the window. I couldn't believe what I saw. It wasn't morning yet, but it was summer, and with daybreak not many minutes around the corner of the world, it was light enough for me to know I wasn't dreaming. My cousin Murad was sitting on a beautiful white horse. I stuck my head out of the window and rubbed my eyes. Yes, he said in Armenian, "It's a horse. You are not dreaming. Make it quick if you want to ride." Students, daybreak. Daybreak means the time when the sun rises in the east. When the sun rises and starts to appear to our eyes, that is sunrise, that is daybreak. Not morning yet. The time he says it was not morning yet means it was time of dawn. That is, before the sunrise, the sky looks bright, filled with orange colors or saffron color. You can say the sky is filled with saffron color light in the east, though the sun does not look. That is called dawn. Stuck. Stuck means fixed in a particular position and impossible to move. The head of the boy stuck to the window means he was not able to move his head from the window. Okay. Now let's have explanation of this paragraph. Murad, sitting on the horseback, tapped on the window and called Aram to awake him. Aram, the narrator, jumped out of the bed immediately and looked out of the window. He couldn't believe his eyes what they saw. It was dark enough and was much time to be morning. It was dark enough and was much time to be morning. It was not morning yet, but was summer morning. The lingering light of dawn in the east was bringing morn very fast. The sun was about to rise within few minutes because the corner of the sunrise had enough light for the narrator to know that he was not dreaming. His cousin Murad was sitting on a beautiful white horse. The narrator took his head out of the window and rubbed his eyes to see the things clearly. Murad, his cousin, assured him in Armenian language that was a horse. Murad assured him, that is his cousin, in Armenian language that be sure it is a horse. He, the narrator, was not dreaming. Make it quick. Murad said, be quick if you wanted to enjoy ride. Students, let's proceed on paragraph 3rd. I knew my cousin Murad enjoyed being alive more than anybody else who had ever fallen into the world by mistake. But this was more than even I could believe. In the first place, my earliest memories had been memories of horses, and my first longings had been longings to ride. This was the wonderful part. In the second place, we were poor. This was the part that wouldn't permit me to believe what I saw. Now, see some words from this little paragraph. Alive. Alive means not being live only, active and delighted personality. Being an active and delighted personality, taking interest in life and its every aspect. That is alive. Fallen into world by mistakes. Students, is it possible to take birth by mistake? Here is a literary expression of the word fallen into word by mistake means born in a poverty stricken family. The family, though family does not want a child, yet a child is born, that is fallen into words by mistake. Longing. Longing means desire, utmost desire. The people have certain longing. For example, he has longed for a good bike for a long time. Now, permit. Permit means to allow. Explanation of this paragraph. Author, the narrator knew his cousin Murad very well. Author, the narrator knew his cousin Murad very well. He knew that Murad was more active and delighted person than anybody who cursed poverty and have been born in a poverty stricken family by mistake. But the sight which the narrator, that is Aram, was enjoying or seeing was beyond his belief. He could not believe the sight. Aram recalls his memory, and the first memory which was printed in his mind was the memories of horses, and his first desire was the desire of horse riding. This was the wonderful part of his dream which he had dreamed for his childhood, which he had dreamed from his childhood. And at the second place, they were poor. This was the most unfortunate part of their lives that did not permit them to fulfill their desire for riding. But it was a wonderful morning which had brought his utmost dream at his door. He could not believe his eyes, as the poverty of their family did not allow him. Students, now let's proceed on the next paragraph, paragraph 4. We were poor. A reading of this paragraph, paragraph 4. We were poor, we had no money. Our whole tribe was poverty stricken. Every branch of the Garoglenian family was living in the most amazing and comical poverty in the world. Nobody could understand where we ever got money enough to keep us with food in our bellies, not even the old men of the family. Most important of all, though, we were famous for our honesty. Most important of all, though, we were famous for our honesty. We had been famous for our honesty for something like 11 centuries, even when we had been the wealthiest family in what we like to think was the world. We were proud first, honest next, and after that we believed in right and wrong. None of us would take advantage of anybody in the world, let alone steal. Now, see some important words as tribe. Tribe means often people of forest dwelling. The people who are forest dwellers are the dwellers who live farthest part of countrysides or outer skirt of a city. They are called tribes. Not city, you can say outer skirt of the city, outer skirt of the village sides. They are often tribes people. So meaning of tribe is the forest dwellers or forest dwelling people. Poverty stricken means inflicted with poverty or inflicted with the curse and pain of poverty. Comical poverty means a kind of happy poverty. Here is antagonism. You can say antagonism between the words, that is contrast between the words. You can say a kind of figure of speech used here, that is oxymoron. Poverty is and comical also. Both cannot be together, but here the words are used as comical poverty means lack of money yet rich in values. The family were lack of money yet they were rich in values. Honesty of 11th century. Honesty of 11th century means highly value based honest life of olden days. Explanation of the paragraph. The narrator, that is Aram, and his cousin Murad belonged to a poor family. They had no money. Their whole tribe was poverty inflicted. Every branch of the Garoglenian family was living in the most surprising comical poverty in the world. They were not like businessmen who tend to accumulate a lot of money by the practice of falsehood and dishonesty, not believing in thankfulness and gratitude at all. This is the tendency of money accumulating people, businessmen, who accumulate money by the practice of falsehood and dishonesty and not believing in thankfulness and gratitude at all. They were not the they were not like the immoral opportunities. They are not like the immoral opportunists who earn money or wealth at any cost. The simple people of this tribe couldn't understand from where they could get money enough to keep them alive with food in their bellies. Not even the old experienced people of the family. Most important attribute of their tribe was their honesty, and they were famous for it. They were famous for their honesty for something like 11th century's people who lived a high value based life of a of absolute honesty. Value based life of absolute honesty, and these people were the wealthiest family in what they think to like in the world. The people of this tribe were proud of first. These people were at first place proud people and honest at the second place. They also believed in right and wrong deeds. None of the Garelian member would take undue advantage of anybody in the world. Stealing of good, stealing of goods was beyond the thought, beyond the belief. Stealing of goods was beyond to think for. Students, let's have some evaluation questions from the above taught paragraphs. Question number first: how was life for Aram at the age of 9 years? Question number second: who was considered crazy and by whom? Third: why did Aram not believe his eyes when he saw the horse? Question number 4: what were the earliest desire of Aram? What did not allow him to believe his eyes? Question number 5: what could not understand most of their family members? What could not understand most of their family member, or most of the family member what could not understand. Question number 6. What things they had been famous for? For what things they had been famous for?